Hey everybody, it's Cowboy Bob, welcome back. In this, the second video with Carly the rescue horse, we're gonna get her into the round corral for the first time. We're gonna get a halter on her for the first time ever and begin to break her to the lead rope. So I think it's gonna be very interesting and some things that you might even be able to use with your horse. So stay tuned, and oh, by the way, don't forget to support your local rescue. Welcome to the next session of working with Carly the rescue horse. Now, in the first couple of sessions, we worked on approaching her in the pasture, getting her connected to me, and eventually getting her to come to me in the pasture and following me around a little bit. I want her to follow me into the corral, and I want it to be her idea to follow me into the corral, and that way she'll be a lot less worried. And remember, she's never been haltered, so this is all new for her. You can see I've let a herd buddy in there, and by having a friend in the corral while we're working, it's going to help her stay calmer while I introduce unfamiliar things to her and we are solving problems. So let me explain what I'm doing here. I've sped up the video so that it's easier to watch. And what I want to accomplish is I want to get her calm and quiet when I put the halter and rope on her. To get that done, I pick out a place in the corral where she can get some release and start to quiet down. In this case, it's on the left of your screen by that tree. So whenever she leaves that quiet place on the left side, and I'm going to call that her safety zone, whenever she moves out of the safety zone, I put a little pressure on her to get her to go back in there, and once she gets back in there, then I release her. Watch how I go about working with this horse. This is something that you can use when you're working with your own horse. I keep my movements and actions to an absolute minimum. Horses are hypersensitive to movement and body language. I like to compare it to making a horse dull. We've all seen riders who kick their horse too much and yank on them too much, and then the horse gets duller and duller, and it becomes harder and harder to get them to respond. Or worse than that, they get hyped up real quick and they're much harder to control. Keep your actions and your signals to a minimum and you're going to get more out of your horse. And I never worry about how long things take. If you will allow your horse to make mistakes and then take whatever time it takes to help them find the right answer, you're going to find you're actually going to get more done in a shorter amount of time. And you notice I'm not circling her and pushing her around the corral. If she were being defiant or disrespectful, then I would lope her around the corral in circles. But because of the work that I did the previous day, she's not showing me disrespect, so there's really no need to do that. I just want to point something out real quick. At this point, I'm using a ranch rope, not a halter yet. And we're going to get to the halter here just in a little bit. So it's a 35-foot 3X soft ranch rope with a knot in the loop so that when I put it on her neck, it won't choke down. If you've ever seen a horse that would allow you to approach them in the pasture when you're not holding a rope, but as soon as they see you with a rope, they move off. Well, the reason they do that is because they had an earlier experience where somebody put a halter and a rope on them and it turned into a wrestling match, and they remember that, and that's why they move off. So I'd rather avoid the wrestling match, and makes that whole problem go away. Really like that long rope because I can put it on her, and if she gets a little bit spooky or flighty and tries to pull away from me, I can let that rope out and still have control of her without getting into a wrestling match. And because we're in the corral, there's really nowhere that she can go anyway, so it makes for a lot better experience for both of us. It's really hard to see here, but just right at this point, I just put the rope on her neck. And because I've taken a lot of time, I've been patient, it's just no big deal for her, and that's exactly the way I like it. Now with that long rope, I can back up a little bit and just let her stand there and relax, and I can still keep a hold of her. And I'm going to start to lead her for the very first time. And not surprisingly, she's going to make a mistake here. And I'm going to allow her to make that mistake. The main thing is that she stay calm. And because she's staying calm, I can get right back in there and we can recover quickly. So I'm going to get the rope back on her here. And we're going to start to lead again. I'm going to start leading her around a little bit. And because we didn't have an argument about it the first time, we recover very quickly and she can go right back at it. And I want to point something out here. In the previous video, I talked about allowing them to make a mistake and then resetting and going back at it. And that's exactly what happened here. She made a mistake. I took her back to the safety zone. We reset and went back at it. This time she did much, much better. So I gave her a break at the end. And because she made the choice I wanted, I cut her loose. And that's going to really reinforce that behavior that I want. And here I'm going to speed up the video again. I just want to show you that we're going to continue to work with the ranch rope until I feel like she's really got that down. And I'm not going to worry about how long it takes. The thing I'm going to think about is I want a certain result. And by being patient, that's going to make her continuing education go all that much better. And just look at this horse now. If you saw this horse like this for the first time, you would never guess that a week ago she had severe anxiety and trust issues, and for years would not let a person come within 20 yards of her. Come back next time where you'll see the third and final video with Carly, where we introduce her to the saddle for the first time and put a couple of first rides on her. So until then, this is Cowboy Bob signing off. Stay tuned.